Well, good morning. I want to welcome you to this event, Commitment versus Intention. This is a series that we're doing on distinctions, and this one is critical to performance of teams and performance of me as an individual. I want you to really, there's a nuance here with this particular distinction. Intention is not bad. Intention is where things begin. I intend to do something. I have a desire to do something. But intention doesn't get the job done. And that's what we're considering today. And from a leadership perspective, we need to get things accomplished. We need people to get things accomplished. And I think many times people have great intentions and great desires and great plans and even some good goals, but there's no commitment. And frankly, I think some of it is an education issue and an understanding issue of this distinction. So, our rules of the game, very familiar if you've been here before. This is definitely an ownership topic. Commitment is I own it. No more excuses, no more blame, no more reasons that it's not going to get done. The fact is, if I give my word and I tell you that something is going to happen, you can count on it. There is accountability there. I own it. My word is my bond. If you hear it from me, it's as good as done. If I promise and commit, participation, I'm all in 100%. Again, these are agreements today that we're having for you to get the most out of our presentation. I'm all in today. I'm going to own this. I'm going to get rid of my I know and have an open mind. I'm going to challenge myself. I'm going to allow myself to be challenged. And then we're going to have fun. Fun to me is not an option. If you're not enjoying things, at least most of the time, I don't think people are going to stay with things they don't enjoy. So let's just choose to have some fun today as we consider the difference between the two. And we've got some stories and some analogies that will help, that ought to lighten the mood a bit, because this is a very serious matter. But we don't want to become so serious and so deadpan and so heavy that it just people tune out and don't want anything to do with it. But we want to lighten it in a way that is engaging and participating. So let's go. Commitment versus intention. Now, this sounds like an infomercial, the way I put this sub phrase underneath it, but it is the key to your team accomplishing tasks on time, every time. Oh, Dave, you're in the dream world. Actually not. I think once you go through this with me and you consider it carefully, you're going to say, I now have a key and a tool and an approach that can get things done every time on time. It's rigorous, it's fun, it's different, and it requires quite a leader. A very bold, concise, clear leader full of candor. So let's start with the outline here. Take a look at this outline. I'll give you a minute or so to consider where we're going this morning in this 30 minutes. We're going to look at the two concepts, and I want you to look at them as realms. There's a realm of intention, and there's a realm of commitment. And they are two different places, if we want to call it a place. They're two different ways of thinking. They're two different ways of being, and they are distinct. Now, they're very related, but let's think about intention first of all. And we all can relate to this. I intend to get something done, or I intend for my team to get something done. It's an aspiration. If you want to get real fluffy about it, it's a vision, it's a dream, it's a vision, it's a mission, it's a plan. When you really get good at intention, you even move it into things like strategy and purpose and goals, and it can become very clear and very specific. A commitment, on the other hand, as a distinction, is simply a binding pledge to work and complete a task on time. Sounds kind of boring compared to the other one, doesn't it? Intention has this wispy, fluffy, great feeling. It emotes a lot of those chemicals in our emotions that make us feel great. A commitment can be a little binding and a little harsh. It's just simple. It's a binding pledge to work and complete a task on time. So those definitions, we're going to explore those in a little more detail in a moment. Then I'm going to give you several examples of the distinctions so you can kind of get the feel for this and the understanding and what I like to say, the BFO, the blinding flash of the obvious. I get it. The roller coaster bar, payday, down payment, marriage, I do, and the feeding of your child. Now, we're going to have fun with those examples. We're going to enjoy using those examples to understand the distinction between those two. And the great thing is, as we close down and here in a moment, we're going to talk about the shift of you, the shift of your team from intention to commitment. It's magical, it's amazing, it changes the game completely. We move from ideas, goals, and talk to accountable results. So how do you do that? Well, I'm going to give you an approach. So let's go back to intention. I want you to understand intention. Going to look at it in terms of focus. Intention is future focused. Intention about is what I hope for, what I dream for, what I want, what I desire. It's in the realm of the New Year's resolutions. It's what I would love to see change. And intention is not wrong or bad, it's just aspirational. It's what I would love to see happen. It's the success that I would want to have. It's goal related. The intensity of intention, it changes. Sometimes we just have wispy dreams and maybe a few plans, things to try out. Sometimes we have detailed explanations and plans and goals written down. But we're still in this model that I'm giving to you this morning in the area of intention. Intention can be very specific. It can be very foggy. The emotion that goes with intention: hope, longing. There's a bit of stressful uncertainty. Now, if you're really hyped up and you're excited and we're having a flavor of the month moment, we might really get into it and get excited and say, we're going to do this and all that sort of thing. But as things progress through the week, through the month, through the quarter, through the year, there's some uncertainty that enters in, and then a frustration often because it's not happening the way we planned it and people are not participating, and now we get to the real world and we get disappointed often. This is all in the realm of intention. We have intentions, but they're not coming to pass all the time. And finally, a picture. So I like to give a picture of a word. I see, when I talk about intention, a motivated leader, an intentional leader that has dreams, and they've even refined those dreams into goals and plans, perhaps. And they really have a passion and a desire to make it happen. That is all still in the realm of intention. We have employees, we have team members that share our intention. They share our vision and our picture, perhaps. If you're hearing this, it sounds a lot like a coaching program, and it certainly is an aspect that intention is important. It's a starting place. But folks, let's admit it. A lot of good intentions, a lot of clear intentions that don't get done. We're talking today about getting the job done. We're talking about getting things completed. We're talking about building something and finishing it today. That does not happen just in the realm of intention. It's a start, it's not a finish. So now let's look at commitment, a binding pledge to work and complete a task on time. Very simple, very direct. The focus is now. It's not future. It's right now in this moment. It's a single-minded thought. It's a clear and plain thought. It's a specific, accountable action that will absolutely occur. That's the focus. What are we actually going to guarantee and do is the question. Not what do we aspire to do, not what do we intend to do, not what do we plan to do, what do we talk about to do, what are we actually going to do? And we are going to do it. In fact, the intensity is on 100% or not. And if it's not 100% on, it's off. It's binary. It's not analog. It's either on or it's off. Commitment is on or it's not there. It's all on or it's not there. There's no such thing as a partial commitment. And when you are committed, folks, in this model and this definition and this way of thinking, when you are committed based on this definition, you can count on it 100%. It happens. I know this raises questions. I know this raises a kickback. It raises some resistance. Please don't have an I know here and set that aside like we agreed to. And just feel and sense and understand and think about the difference between the two. There's such a difference in the two. There is a liberation here that can happen in your life and in your team if you get this. Third, the emotion that goes with commitment. Listen to the difference in emotion. It's trust. It's assurance. It's an integrity-driven peace, and it's settled. Not a lot of hoopla necessarily. Certainly there can be a joy in it. Certainly there can be a lightness in it, but it's a settled feeling. It's a feeling of assurance. It's a calmness. It's a peace that's driven by the integrity. What do we mean by that? Integrity is what's on the inside is on the outside. I know the people that have committed will do it. I can count on that. They are accountable. They will come through and complete what they've said they're going to do. That is commitment. Finally, the picture is interesting. It comes from the original meaning of the word in its history of meaning. We commit people to a mental institution. We commit them to prison. We commit them to the state. That's how that word really first started, was used originally. It's a picture of a prisoner locked in for life. They're not getting out. There's no parole. There's no escape. They are there and they are staying there. That is the picture of commitment. They are committed. They are captured. They're not leaving. There's not going to be any doubt that there's going to be a change. It's going to stay. They are owned and locked. Folks, when you're committed and you understand commitment, you are locked into what you've said. If you have true integrity, mature integrity, what you say is what happens, and your word is your bond. I know it's old-fashioned, but that's so different than intention. We've got the world full of people with intentions, but do they transform those intentions? Do leaders transform their intentions into commitments? Do they have the conversations with their team that move from intention to commitment? So just to get another feel for the distinction, and then we'll get to the how to here with the shift. The roller coaster bar. So I don't know if any of you are roller coaster fans, or you've ridden roller coasters in your past, or maybe you still love to go do that and mess your neck up and cause all kinds of problems. But I remember the days when I would go and stand in line at the ride and look up at the hill, and I was in line and intending on riding the roller coaster. And I was nervous, and I knew there was a way out, and I could get out of line. But once I sat in that seat and the bar clamped down, I was committed. I was captured. I was all in, and I was going on the ride. I may want out of it at that point, but I'm not getting out of it because I'm committed. Payday. I use that because employees don't guess, hopefully in your organization, about whether they're going to get paid. They count on that paycheck. It's like the rising and setting of the sun, and who would work for you if sometimes they get paid, and we're going to intend on paying you, we're going to try to pay you, we're going to do our best to pay you. There are things that happen where we can't pay you. That's not a commitment, that's an intention. Commitment is, once you're signed up, you're in the organization, like clockwork, every 2 weeks, every month, or however your pay period is, you're getting a paycheck. That's commitment. It's the down payment when you buy a house and you write that first check and you sign that paperwork. You're committed to buying that home, and you've put money down and said that down payment is a guarantee, it's a commitment that we're in. It's the feeling you get, hopefully, for those of you that are still conservative, when you stand before God and before other people and you say, I do, to that spouse and that spouse to be, and you say, I am committed to you for a lifetime. We are all in. I'm not going to intend on being faithful. I'm not going to try not to cheat on you or be involved with other people. I am forsaking all others for you in sickness and in health, and those traditional values and commitments. Marriage is a commitment to forsake all others, and it's you that I'm committed to. And then I love this one. I talked to a lady once in a seminar once about she had a lot of concerns about losing her job. It was a little insecure. And I said, so if you lose your job, you're a single mom, your child's going to go hungry, right? She said, absolutely not. I will do whatever it takes to feed my child. That is commitment. It's non-negotiable. It will happen. So if you'll reflect back through those examples, the roller coaster, the payday, the down payment, the marriage ceremony, the feeding of the child, if you think about all those things, you can get a real good sense of commitment and how it is distinct from intention. Now, if you get that and you have a sense for it and the light bulbs are kind of going on, let's move into how to make that happen in an organization, in a team, and even for yourself. What we're going to look at now is how to move from ideas, goals, a lot of talk, to accountable results. Accountable results occur in commitment. All the other stuff are expressions of intention. If you can see the difference, this is powerful. So, here's what I would call the steps to results. First of all, the leader needs to take all these intentions. Maybe the leader is producing some of these intentions, and define the ideal outcome and create the action steps to get there. Specific things that need to be done, physically done, observable, measurable actions. So you have to take all these intentions and you have to get clear. We're not to commitment at this point, but we're clarifying intentions. All these intentions can be wispy dreams. They can be a feeling. They can be a vague sense of what we want to see happen. All of that needs to go It needs to be used to transform to specificity and specific responsibilities assigned and embraced and owned by people. Then, what needs to occur here, I'll just put the rest of them up here. Each and every team member needs to commit specifically, oh, please hear the words, to what they will do by what time. What will they get accomplished by what time, date and time, down to the minute if possible. Each and every team member has a specific action-oriented responsibility. Each team member only will commit to a specific action or actions that they can and will complete on time. In other words, folks, you have to have a trust and an openness in your team to make this shift. Where if a person doesn't believe they can get something done, maybe you say, well, of course they can. Well, it doesn't matter what you think. It matters what they think. And this is the art of coaching. This is the art of accountability, of getting people to say, I will do this by this time. You can count on it. If you can't say that, Mr. Team Member, Mrs. Team Member, then we're not at commitment. We're still in the realm of intention. Well, I'll try to get that done, or I'm not sure if other things happen. Well, we'll see we're in the realm of intention now. I think I'll try to make sure my child gets fed, and I'll try to stay faithful to you, honey. And maybe we'll get a paycheck. You see, that doesn't work without commitment. Those things, and once you're locked in on that roller coaster, you're going. There's no doubt about it. No doubt about it. Each and every team member commits with no doubt about it specifically to what they're going to do by when. And if they cannot commit at that level, they are not committed. Well, Dave, can they have intentions without commitment? Can they try? Sure. But you can't count on it. And you shouldn't count on it. And you shouldn't build your project and your outcome around it because you can't be sure. I hope you're seeing the difference. Then this one, people drop the ball all the time, but the completion of each commitment must be validated. You need to commit to validation. The leader or a delegate of the leader needs to make sure that every commitment that is made to an action is followed up when validated at the deadline or before that it's completed. This is just simple common sense, but it is not common practice. And then the last thing, because this covers all the questions that'll come up around this, off-ramps must be provided for those who do not keep commitments. And we're not calling you a creep, and we're not calling you a jerk, and we're not calling you even a bad person. What we're saying is there are people who can keep commitments and make commitments and keep them, and there are people who don't seem to be able to do it, don't want to do it, don't get the idea. Folks, in my world of coaching, how do we provide an off-ramp for that person? Now, organizationally, that may be a challenge in your situation, and that raises a lot of other questions and strategic things that you need to do with people who are not committed. They're just intending, sometimes stronger than others, but we don't have commitments. My point is, if you want to make this full shift to a culture of commitment versus intention, you need to provide a safe, kind, clear way for people to get off the commitment highway because they were never really on it. We're just getting honest about what's happening. And if a person doesn't get their responsibility or they don't want a responsibility or they don't for some reason now have the capacity to perform at that level, we either need to modify the commitment to something they can 100% commit to. That's one off-ramp. Change the commitment to something they can commit to. Or if they cannot commit to anything or can't keep their word, we have to find an off-ramp out of the team and out of the organization. Those are strong words, but I really think that's the logical place you go if you are committed to having a committed organization. So the bottom line here is there is no trying in commitment. It happens because what I say I will do, I will do. And when you can get every team member to understand that what they say they will do, they do. How often? 100%. Every time. Well, Dave, what about when things come up? Blah, blah, blah. Look, that's life. You work through that. You have conversations about that, but you get everybody on the same page to understand then you were not committed. Your child didn't eat. You weren't committed to your child. You cheated on your marriage. You weren't committed in your marriage. You didn't make the payments on your home. You broke that commitment. And you crawled out of the roller coaster before it started to go up the hill. I hope you get that part of the commitment, that this concept of true commitment is you're locked in. Your word is your bind. You bind to it, and there's no trying. And can you all imagine, can you just picture with me the joy and the wonder and the absolute execution of projects and amazing things if we got a team of people that really understood commitment? And if you're a leader in that situation, that's on you. So let's pull this all together with 3 offers. You want a copy of that to think about it? Ask me for it. Just email me. I'll gladly send that to you, maybe with a couple of articles to support it. Second, there are more articles and more links of YouTube's similar issues, and I send out a weekly article every Monday morning free. You go to the website, sign up. There it is, www.mentordavebeam.com. Once you're signed up, you get that automatically every Monday, and you have access through the website to all that information, no cost. And third, if you want a conversation because you want to shift, or you want to shift yourself and you want to get some ideas on how to shift your team and how to proceed, schedule it with me. Email me, davebeam@mentordavebeam.com. We'll set up a Zoom conversation and we'll talk about it. And we'll see if maybe you want to employ me for a while to work with you and your team to make this shift from intention to commitment. Because I think it's beautiful, it's amazing, and it is possible. But it takes a certain leadership style and direct, clear candor, kind candor to get it done. So that's what we have today. I hope that has been encouraging and helpful. And if you want to talk to me, please reach out. I would love to have a conversation with you. Thank you. Bye-bye.